Is it really possible for a tiny tweak to your morning coffee routine to ignite your metabolism and put your body into full fat-burning mode for the rest of the day?
Check out the link in the video description now and transform your morning coffee into a metabolism-boosting super drink.
A woman has accused the pastor of a Texas megachurch of sexually abusing her when she was 12, with the preacher only admitting to inappropriate sexual behavior with a young lady. Robert Morris is the founder and senior pastor of Gateway Church in Southlake, which claims a weekly attendance of 100,000 and was also once a spiritual advisor to former President Donald Trump. Morris, 62, was accused by Cindy Clemashear of abusing her from 1982 to 1987, when she was between the ages of 12 and 16. Clemashear, who went public with her accusations and revealed her identity Friday, said that Morris was a traveling preacher when she met her and her family at their church in Oklahoma in 1981. The two families, including Morris' wife and son, became close and Morris stayed at the Clemashear family home in Tulsa on Christmas 1982. She describes a scene in which Morris asked her to come to his room and speak with him, asking her to lay on his bed. Morris began to touch her inappropriately, with Clemashear alleging he touched her stomach, then her breast and then under her pants. I remember vividly everything I was wearing and how the pajamas felt. They were light pink, and it was a little top with bloomers, and I had on underwear and bloomers and a little top and a robe that snapped up over the top, she said. Clemashear adds that after the alleged abuse occurs, Morris told me I could never tell anyone, because it would ruin everything. She says that he would continue to isolate her and abuse her for the next 4.5 years before she finally spoke out, first to a family friend and then her parents. Clemashear's father demanded Morris be removed from ministry and she claims he did for 2 years in order to undergo restoration. He returned to preaching in 1989. Morris, for his part, admitted to some wrongdoing, though he never admits to Clemashear being underage at the time in a statement to the Christian Post on Saturday. When I was in my early 20s, I was involved in inappropriate sexual behavior with a young lady in a home where I was staying. It was kissing and petting and not intercourse, but it was wrong. This behavior happened on several occasions over the next few years, he said. He claims to have repented in March of 1987 when the accusations became public and said he received counseling and freedom ministry. Morris says that he and his wife met with Clemashear and her family in October of 1989 and asked their forgiveness, and they graciously forgave me. He also alleges that when he returned to the ministry, he did so with the full blessing of Clemashear's father. Clemashear told the Dallas Morning News that this is not quite the truth. Of course we want to forgive, we're called to forgive. But he's never had anyone's blessing in my family to be back in the ministry, she said. We don't believe anyone that's done anything like this should be an overseer to anyone in any industry, but especially in the church. She also doesn't believe Morris has ever really repented for his abuse and his statement proves that. I don't think that it's repentant when someone calls a 12-year-old a young lady and tries to just dismiss what happened as just some heavy petting, Clemashear said. I don't believe that's repentance. There's no child on earth that any person should ever do that to. It's just unacceptable. There's zero excuse. The pair have tangled over this in court, as in 2005 she sued him and wanted him to pay $50,000 to cover therapy costs. Morris, through an attorney, accused her of seeking out the pastor's sexual advances and tried to get her to sign an NDA in exchange for $25,000. She did not take the deal. The pastor was a part of Trump's Evangelical Advisory Board for his 2016 presidential campaign and visited Gateway in 2020 for a panel discussion. A statement on behalf of Gateway Church's other leaders and elders also attempt to absolve Morris. Pastor Robert has been open and forthright about a moral failure he had over 35 years ago when he was in his 20s and prior to him starting Gateway Church. He has shared publicly from the pulpit the proper biblical steps he took in his lengthy restoration process, they said. Morris, however, did not lead the church in services on Saturday and the church has made no statements and given no interviews in response to the resurfaced allegation.